The government, the same thing. What they do, they push your buttons until you explode, and now you're the crazy guy. People tell me I'm a super guy. They tell me I'm their hero. Well, I am in fact a superhero guy. This doesn't. Who read the article in the National Post, that hatchet job? Was that a brutal hatchet job or what? You know what they said about the Freemen? They're not openly racist. What the hell is that? Oh yeah, they're not openly racist, and then they just leave it at that. It's all about truth. The purpose of Freemanry. I'll tell you, we've been called everything from anti-government, racist, anti-Semitic. We're none of those things. What we want is our power back. We want our power back, and we want the government to recognize that they serve us. We are not their servants. I was helping out a buddy of mine, the strongest claim of right I ever saw. So he gave it to me, I read it, I almost cried. It was the most powerful claim of right I had ever seen. It said, I looked in my heart and I see that love is my law. I have looked at your words and I don't see love anywhere. I can only conclude your words are not my law. Your heart is more powerful than their words. And there's a great big guy standing outside my window. I'm in the passenger seat. Biggest grin I've ever seen on the guy. I thought he was on mushrooms. And I came to a realization of what these cops, what we're dealing with here. When we told him we have a right to get out on the highway, exercise our common law right to travel with neither permit nor license, this is what he said. I'll tell you what will happen if people get out on the highway without licenses. Everybody will die. He recognizes that he is enforcing the letter of the law outside of the purpose of the law or the spirit of the law. I said, well, I guess I've got no choice but to stay in your town. Go door to door to door and teach everyone how to be a free man on the land, hold their property under a claim of right, and establish lawful excuse to disobey the government and the courts. Just get out of town. He was like, just get out of here. This path that you're on, it's not an easy path. It involves using a claim of right to establish lawful excuse to disobey these people in the government and the courts who really want you to obey them. They arrest you, they want to read you your rights under the Constitution Act, under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. They'll say, I'm reading these charges, they'll read the charges to you, and then they'll ask you, do you understand? Who here knows what the trickiness of understand means? Yeah, it's stand under, understand, you're accepting their jurisdiction. So when they ask, do you understand, they're not saying, do you know what the meaning of these words are? That's what you're led to believe. What they're actually saying is, do you accept this and my authority over you? Do you stand under my authority? I have read your rights to you under the Constitution Act. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand? Even a no at this point, any word out of your mouth at that point is technically consent to go to court and accept these charges. Anything.
That's right.
Even a no. Anything you say means we're going to court. I went. The questions that we all must ask is, how did this state of affairs come to be? How have we lost so much of our rights, so much of our power? And now you are clearly, legally, under the control and the command of the people who are supposed to be your servants. When you look at that section of the criminal code, there's actually two parts, and the obstruction is the second part. The first part is perversion of justice. Trying on a daily basis, they're creating more and more regulations and orders and bylaws and all sorts of crap that we're supposed to understand. But even they can't understand it all, and yet we're liable to it. Okay, now I feel it coming on. I have no idea how to deal with a claim of right where essentially all you're doing is you're telling the people in the government, listen, you're just a human being, I'm a human being, we're in a common law jurisdiction, we're equal, you need my consent, and I'm not giving it to you, so go away, stop treating me like I'm your child or your ward. And it's working. It's working in a very big way. It's also not working to a large degree for a lot of people, and I'll tell you why. Oh, that's That's my show there. It's getting late. I know you guys have some questions. I'm hoping you don't. You can't place an order on your fellow man in a common law jurisdiction and simply not be liable for some form of bill. Okay, folks, that's my time. Thank you so much for coming.